Today I'm testing the NVIDIA Reflex low latency feature on GeForce NOW. For those who aren't familiar, Reflex is designed to reduce quick-to-action time. In short, Reflex improves the synchronization between your CPU and GPU. It's especially useful in scenarios where your GPU is overloaded and struggling to keep up with the CPU, which creates a render queue that adds delay. But the big question is, does this feature actually make a difference when you're gaming in the cloud? To find it out, I use the high-speed camera shooting at 960 frames per second. This allows for extreme precision. At this frame rate, each frame represents only 1.04 milliseconds. I measured the time from the moment the mouse light activates to the moment the action appears on screen. The stopwatch you see there is just a visual marker so you can understand when the high-speed footage starts. First, I tested with Reflex turned off. Over 9 separate tests, we recorded an average latency of 102 milliseconds, with the lowest or the best time being at 90 milliseconds and the highest or the worst at 112 milliseconds. Next, I enabled Reflex in both GeForce NOW settings and the in-game menu. The results improved slightly, with an average latency of 98 milliseconds, the lowest at 85 milliseconds and the highest at 107 milliseconds. We see a small gain here, but the high variancy is interesting and we'll talk about why in a moment. Finally, I tested Reflex plus Boost. This mode keeps the GPU clock speeds high for further reduced latency. However, in this environment, the results were nearly identical to having the feature off, with an average latency of 101 milliseconds, the lowest at 90 milliseconds, and the highest at 150 milliseconds. Since the Ultimate tier uses extremely powerful GPUs, they are rarely overloaded enough for the CPU-GPU sync to become the bottleneck. Instead, the elephant in the room is the network. Based on these numbers, my conclusion is that while Reflex is a game changer for local hardware, its impact on the GeForce NOW Ultimate tier is minimal. During my tests, I had a steady ping of 37 milliseconds. While GeForce NOW doesn't show jitter stats directly, my tests to a nearby server showed a jitter of 17 milliseconds. Jitter is the fluctuation in your ping. If your connection is bouncing by 10 to 20 milliseconds, it completely masks any improvements made by the Reflex technology. So, what's the final verdict? If you are a GeForce NOW user, my advice is simple. Keep Reflex on if the game supports it. It's a best case scenario setting that certainly doesn't hurt. But if your favorite game doesn't support it yet, don't bother too much over it. As we saw in the data, the system is so powerful that your hardware isn't usually the bottleneck. Your internet instability is. You will get a much smoother experience by optimizing your Wi-Fi or switching to Ethernet cable than you will be by stressing over a single setting. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment below with your own experience. Do you actually feel the difference with Reflex turned on or off? Or is the cloud latency too high to even notice?